What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is all about trying to get this bike started for the very first time. We've tried once before, didn't work. And we're also going to find out whether it's because of something I've done that's actually caused this ignition issue. So stay tuned. Now if you cast your mind back to the first episode when I was stripping this bike down, I manually manipulated the ignition immobilizer. I'm wondering if the error on the ignition is something to do with that. So a quick recap on how we got to this point. This is our original ignition barrel. So we had a chip put into this key to be coded to the current ECU. Now remember that because it gets worse. We also have this. This is the secondary ignition set we bought. Well, the immobilizer set with keys that we thought would actually just work. We thought it would be plug and play. It was dirt cheap. Maybe I'm wrong. We fixed this and we changed it, we think. Come back to that. The key barrel, we can't get it to turn on even when it works with the original receiver just here. So what we're getting is an immobilizer fault on the receiver, which is weird because going back to that first episode, I got that to work. And why won't it work now? Did I cause that fault? So next up, we've got Brett from Motor Garage popping over with his PEXA machine. We should be able to scan it, try and find that fault and see if we can actually just completely wipe and clear that fault and get the bike to start. Fingers crossed. Should we do a close up? That is awesome.
We've got 6 chins.
How many chins does Brett have? 8. So it appears we're having no major luck with trying to find how to fix and how to clear this code on the Ducati. So I think it's time we turned to Dr. Google. Well, I'm probably now more confused than I was about 10 minutes ago. After reading through lots of forums, lots of, we'll call them experts, it's really hard to get an idea as to, is it a key problem? Is it a key that's supposed to link to the dash? Do they have to be identical? Is it because my dash is cracked? Maybe that's got an error, which means it's not storing the immobilizer code. I think I'm gonna have to make a few phone calls, try some other Ducati engineers and see what I can come up with. In the meantime, let's go grab some parts. We're back, Motor Mia, more parts, let's take a look. What do we got, Matt?
Hey mate, new tinted screen, light smoke tinted screen for the Bayliss.
Very, very cool. Oh yeah, that's
nice. There's a little seal that goes around the top.
It's a nice screen that'll go with all the black on the bike.
The set of screws that finishes off the front
for the screen.
Yep.
Yep, cool.
And the suspension link.
Oh yeah, cool. It's just gonna set that back of the bike off really wicked, eh? Like I actually really don't know what you get in terms of functionality out of these, but they look shit hot. So
There's probably some sort of adjustability, some
there's
something
something in there, isn't there?
Yeah, there would be for sure.
Especially with that rod.
Settings.
Yeah.
You might have to do some research.
I will be Googling that. I'm just gonna take a quick look at this before we go. This is beautiful. I think this is what most people dream of, having a bike like this. It's like full carbon fiber, isn't it?
Yep, 916R, carbon fiber, yep.
So the whole, look at that. The carbon fiber through the word Ducati. That is sexy. Such a nice bike.
Same as the retail.
So what year is this?
I think they were 2001.
2001. And what are you doing to this bike?
Just a pre-sale detail, so just tidying up for the customer. We'll get it ready for the market. And then, yeah.
So just a pre-sale detail, getting it all ready for sale. Man, if I won Lotto, I would buy a bike like this. Actually, I'd buy a few bikes like this. Yeah, I love the color of the wheels, everything. The way the pipes come up, the carbon. Is that new carbon?
No.
Is that seriously the OEM carbon?
Yeah, I just polished it.
Shit, you polished that. It looks like it's brand new. Look at that. That's awesome.
You know, sometimes we take the whole exhaust system off, repaint the whole, re-polish the whole exhaust system. Just depends on the customer's budget and what they want to do.
Did you do this one? Because this one looks pretty good.
No, not yet. I'm just going to tidy up these top pipes. But yeah, you could pull this back wheel off. You could get right in there without, you know, without too much dramas. But again, it just comes down to budget and what people want to, you know, outlay before they sell their bike. But,
A question: do they have this grille normally, or is this aftermarket?
the R's do. Yep.
The R's do.
Yep. The SPSs I think do. The standard 916s, 996s don't. But yeah, all the R's I'm pretty sure do. The 998R.
Yeah, right.
Which has got it as well. So.
And look at that. Was there supposed to be like a gold pinstripe as well?
Some are different. So this one's a bit lighter.
Yeah, pretty cool, isn't it? Awesome. Love it. Thanks for the parts.
No worries, mate. Anytime.
Now, I had to show you this 113 yellow 996S by Postos. It's just an awesome bike. Super easy. So, I probably should have taken the front off and put this back on, because there's actually 2 bolts here that it needs to go into, and it's not easy to get to. But that looks good, doesn't it? Just a light smoke, like clear, would just look too roady, and it's the high pitch as well, so it's going to get that race wind resistance. It's going to get rid of that for you. Much better. I'll go ahead and put them in. I'm going to use these nuts, these black Cupolino screws, so they should go nice and smooth, better than the silver ones. That was a pretty small job. The next job is a hell of a lot bigger, because once again, I've got to balance this bike and I've got to put these on. These are the replacements for the rocker arms. They're going to look black. They're going to be so much cooler looking. Functionally, again, as I mentioned, I really don't know the difference. Maybe it gives me some more adjustability. There's a P there, there's an F there, God knows what they mean. I do know that I think the 1199s and the 1299Ss came out with these, so maybe there's some benefit to it. Maybe having that 2 different points there, 2 different mount points along with the adjustable arm, maybe that gives me more adjustability. Maybe it's just stronger, I don't really know, but let's get them on. Okay, so we're getting there. So I've got the top bolt in, I've just got to torque that down. I've got the bottom bolts on both sides in, I've got to torque that down. I've decreased this here, so the actual dog bone arm, but you can see it's still nowhere near short enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to jack up the bike a bit more. So I'm just gonna jack this up a little bit more, which will bring this forward, and then this should just slot right in with one of these bolts. Clean that bolt up first, because that is disgusting. And then whack it in. That's it. Whack it in. If only everything was that easy. Okay, you can see through that hole. See how I'm not quite meeting up. So I've got to come up this way like 3 or 4 mil. So if I just jack this up, it should be easy. Well done. How good does that look now? Look at that, full CNC dog bone and thingamabob. Thingamabob, dog bone. Pretty cool. I just got to tighten up those now. Wicked. I'm just going to put the torque marks on, so I'll torque them down to spec, put the torque marks on. We are good to go. I have no idea what P and F means. If anyone knows, please let me know. What does P mean? What does F mean? I have no clue. I build bikes, but I don't know what I'm doing. So let me know. So now I've got another part I can sell on eBay, the rear linkage. I've also got the dog bone for sale for 120 bucks. I can probably sell these for around 115. Which brings me to the next topic, and that's price. What has this bike actually cost me so far, and what was it hoping to cost me? So if you remember, I bought the bike for $6,500 to get it here, so that's $6,500. My initial budget was $12K total, so I had roughly $5,500 to $6,000 to spend to get this bike on track and get it ready. We have massively blown that budget, so get ready for it. We are currently at $23,000. Now, I could have gone and bought an actual Bayliss off the shelf, like not new, but secondhand, ready to go for that much money. That's how much they sell for in Australia right now. Yes, I'm an idiot, but if I'd gone and done that, we wouldn't have had the content to deliver, and we wouldn't have had a build we could have actually discovered as well. So, and it would have been a stock Bayliss. It wouldn't have had any of the performance stuff on it that this bike has got. So, we're not done yet. Because I've still got a bunch of performance parts to go on this bike. I've still got to spend roughly $2,000 potentially on a new ignition system, and about $2,000 for a complete set of front forks. So that's $4,000. Not to mention any other small things that pop up. I've got tuning, I've got chains, I've got a whole bunch of ancillary parts which still have to go on it. So I'm roughly still $5,000 under. However, we have managed to sell some parts on eBay as well, and we've got about $4,000 extra stuff that hasn't sold, which we can recoup. So if we just said 23,000 minus around about 4,000, that brings us back down to 19,000. And that's around about where the build should finish, fingers crossed, somewhere in that $19,000 to $20,000 range, if all goes well from here on. But we've still got more parts to go. So next up, we're gonna mock up some bars. Now, if you remember from the first early episodes, these were our bars. They were completely bent. You can actually see the banana bend in those bars. So what I've managed to do is get a hold of these. Ducati Racing, and they are perfect. Well, they're not OEM because they're Ducati, but they're actually made to fit in the OEM. You see they've even got the little cutouts in there so that they fit in the existing OEM clamps. So we're gonna put these on, and then we've got a whole bunch of stuff on this table which we can mock up onto these. Old bar, new bar. Look at that for a banana bend in the middle. So obviously I don't have any forks, so I've just mocked up some cardboard forks for the moment. But the thing I love about these, and I've said this before, is see how that little notch fits in just there? Even on an aftermarket AL or top triple, it's got that little notch for the OEM bars to locate properly. So they're just gonna sit there, they're nice and straight, perfect. So now we can mock up some other stuff. So what have we got? We've got our old switchgear here. We've got a new set of domino grips. We're gonna put those on last because they're gonna be hard to put on when it's sitting on cardboard. We've got monkey bones lever ends, and then we've got our new switchgear, which has to go on as well. Okay, clutch is on, switch gear's on. This is the reservoir bracket. I reckon I can straighten that and salvage it. And then we'll put the reservoir up here. But I just realized I don't have a reservoir, so I'm gonna have to go and buy a reservoir, which means I've got to add that to my price as well. So let's say 23,200. One side fully mocked up, also got the bar end lever on there. These are super loose. I don't know what Domino is doing, but these ones are the loosest I've ever had. So I might replace these because I don't know why they are so loose on these bars. They should be exactly the same, 22 mil bars, same as OEM. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out. Might have to replace these bars. Sorry, replace these grips. Okay, on the right side, we've got the switch gear. We've got the brake, which hasn't arrived yet, but that's going to be part of our brake upgrade film that we do. Film episode. Sorry, it's not a Cannes film festival. And you can see just in there, there's a little noggin. It's like just sticking out. I'll put my finger behind it so you can see it. And now that is a locator. So that locator goes into one of these holes just here, and that's what helps us locate the switch gear perfectly in the right position. So that's a good part of keeping the OEM switchgear, is it sits perfectly ergonomically to where you want it, and it doesn't move around on the bar. So you tighten it from behind, and it's got the locator plug. So with my throttle, this is my OEM throttle, I've also got these throttle spacers. You can see them, tiny little bits of rubbery plastic, and a special little screwdriver 3-headed tool to get you into this one here. So these two bolts, pull it apart, put your throttle spacers on, put it back together. There we go, another one done, and look at that, no play in the throttle, perfect. I've just got to tighten that all up, connect it. Just got to adjust the switch gear a little bit because it's not sitting quite right. And then we've just got the brakes to go on as soon as they arrive. Progress.
Is it going to be a track bike?
Yes.
Going to be a track bike and stuff. Like, there is a place in Melbourne that can like remove the immobilizers.
Yeah, right.
Which I'm happy to have a look at it for you and see if we can nut it out. But I'm also just mindful of trying to get you back on the road as quick as possible and cheaply.
There you have it. We might have an option. There's someone in another city in my country that potentially can remove the immobilizer completely. However, the original OEM Ducati software tool might also be able to do that. We'll keep you posted. So that's it, another episode done. We'll see you on the next one, and fingers crossed we get some progress with this ignition. We've got a bunch more parts to come. We've got a whole bunch of carbon fiber and a bunch of other goodies performance related. So thanks for watching. You know the drill, like, subscribe. Peace out.